welcome to Love and Life's Journey. I'm Chantel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's video is part of the March Look for Less challenge. This is a challenge that is put on by Yami at the Latina Next Door, and her co-host this month is Nicole from The Week's Nest. And I will put links to both of their channels in the description box below so you can check them out. They both have incredible DIYs and decorating videos and all kinds of things that I love, so I hope you'll love them too. So be sure to check those out. And I will also put a link to the Look for Less Challenge playlist for March in the description box so that you can check out all of the other videos that all of the other creators who have participated have put into that playlist. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, or you're coming over from one of the other channels, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and stick around. I do a lot of DIYs on a budget, Dollar Tree DIYs, that type of thing. So I'd love to have you stick around. And don't forget to hit that bell and set your notifications so that YouTube will notify you when I upload new videos. So let's not wait any longer. Let's jump right into this Look for Less project.
I have been wanting a galvanized tiered tray, and I found this one online for $50, and I knew I could totally make this for a lot less. I will be using one of these planter trolleys from Dollar Tree, and this has some little wheels on the bottom of it so that it rolls around. And for the top tray, I am going to be using this pie pan from Dollar Tree. I will also be using a 12-inch long piece of wooden dowel. This is a 7/8" dowel, and I got it at Walmart. It was longer. This is just a piece I had left over, but you could also use even the handle of one of the plungers from Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to be using one of these chopping mats out of this 2-pack from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using just one of these shower rings out of this pack from Dollar Tree. And I will be using one wooden bead, and this is just something I had in my stash, and I'd say it's about 1 inch in diameter. To paint my trays, I'm going to be using some of this aluminum metallic spray paint that I picked up at Walmart. And I'll be using some elephant colored chalk paint by Waverly and just some lighter gray craft paint, and it's not shown here, but I'm also going to be using some black craft paint. And for glue, I'll be using E6000 as well as my hot glue gun. I'm going to cut a circle out of one of the chopping mats to fit in the bottom of this planter trolley, and it just so happens that that pie pan is the exact size of the inside of that planter trolley, so I'm using that as a template. I'm just going to trace around it with a Sharpie marker and cut that out with scissors. And the reason I'm doing this is because that planter trolley has those indented places in it, and things won't sit level in that tray if I don't put something over the top of those. Next, I'm going to take my dowel and I'm going to measure up 8 inches and make a mark because I want to cut an 8-inch piece and have a 4-inch piece left. Then, using my miter box and my saw, I'm going to cut that dowel at the place where I marked it, and I will put a link in the description box to this miter box set. It is so handy for doing small crafts like this, and I use it a lot. Then I'm going to take some sandpaper and just smooth out any rough edges and make sure there's no little splinters. Now I'm going to assemble what will be the top of my post for this, or my handle, so to speak, and this shower curtain ring fits right into the holes in this wooden bead, except the one end sticks out at an angle a little bit, so I'm just taking a drill and drill bit and just very carefully making the hole a little bit bigger, just so the end of that shower curtain ring will lay a little flatter up against the bead and And it's not perfect, but it works a little bit better this way. Then I'm going to take that and put a little bit of hot glue inside the hole on that bead and insert my ring. And you want to work a little bit quickly here so that you get the bead positioned correctly with how the ring sits inside that hole. Then I'm going to take a little bit of E6000 and put on top of the 4-inch dowel and set the bead on top of that, and then I will take my hot glue gun and run some hot glue really carefully and neatly all the way around the base of that bead to help it stay in place while that E6000 is drying. Next, I'm going to take that planter trolley and I'm covering up those wheels with some painter's tape just so that when I spray paint it, the paint doesn't cause the wheels to get stuck. Then I'm going to take my metallic aluminum spray paint and I'm going to spray the entire bottom and all this around the sides of that planter trolley. Next, I'm going to insert that piece that I cut out from the chopping mat, and I'm marking right where the center is because I want to know where that center post is going to be so that I can cut that out, and actually I'll be gluing my post to the tray itself, or to the center of the trolley. But I'm using some E6000 and some hot glue to glue in that bottom insert, and then I will spray paint the entire inside. And you can see here that I'm holding that post in the center because I want to still be able to see where I marked when I go to cut it out. And then I just make sure it has a good coat of spray paint. Once my spray paint has dried, I am going to use the elephant chalk paint and also the lighter colored gray craft paint, and I'm going to use kind of a fluffy old paintbrush that I have, and I'm going to just pounce these colors all over the two trays. And I'm going to start with the darker color, then I'll go over the top with some of the lighter color, and then back and forth a couple of times, alternating, just kind of filling in and giving it really a kind of a mottled look, kind of like galvanized metal is. If you saw my Trash to Treasure video that I did a little while back where I transformed those wall pockets from kind of a green painted metal to the galvanized metal, this is the same technique that I used on those, and I will put the link to that video in the description box as well if you want to check that out. So you can see here that I'm getting a little bit of the paint off of the brush before I actually put it onto the trays. I want it to be kind of a really random pattern, so I am twisting and turning my brush as I pounce it on there and just giving it a really random look. And don't worry, because at first it doesn't look like it's going to look like galvanized metal at all. It just looks really kind of messy. But once you start layering the different colors, then it really starts building up that galvanized metal look and gives it some more dimension. So after I put on the layer of dark, then I'm going to take the light color paint and do the exact same thing over the whole project. A couple of things to note here. I didn't worry about doing the very bottom of that bottom tray, and also on that center place in the middle of the inside of the tray where we marked where the post is going to go. I didn't paint over that because I still needed to see that mark where I need to cut out that hole. On the pie pan, I am measuring to find the center of the inside of the pan. I'm going to mark that because I don't want to paint right in the center so that my post will adhere better when I glue it to the center of this pie pan. Then I'm going to use the same painting technique that I used on the planter trolley that will be the bottom tray, and I'm going to paint both the inside and the outside of this pie pan. Next I'm going to use some Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. You can use any black craft paint for this, and I'm going to paint my dowels and the little ring on the top of the other dowel, and I didn't get it all in the video, but I'm just painting all of it black except for the ends where I'm going to be gluing it. Now I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and very carefully cut out that circle where I traced around the dowel on that plastic cutting mat. Now remember, this is a chopping mat, and so it is a little bit hard to cut through, which is a good thing if you're using it for a chopping mat. But I had to go around this probably 5 or 6 times, pushing quite a bit with a lot of pressure to cut out this circle. But you just want to do this slowly and carefully so you don't cut yourself. I did also spray my pieces with this clear matte sealer, and when I sprayed the dowels I did not spray the ends so that they were free of that when I glued them to the trays. Which is the next and final step. So I'm going to put a little bit of E6000 in the center, and then I'm adding some hot glue so that that will cause the dowel to stand up and hold it while the E6000 dries for a stronger bond. And you do have to hold these for a little bit. And then I'll also be doing the same thing on the top tray. I will put that shorter dowel with the little ring on that in the center of that pie pan, and also with E6000 and a little bit of hot glue. And then I'm going to place some E6000 and again some more hot glue on the top of the dowel that is in the planter trolley, and place my pie pan on this. And when you do this, you want to make sure it's centered and kind of look at it from the side to make sure those dowels are lined up so that it looks like it's going all the way through. So here's the finished tray. I love how it looks. It is not as sturdy as probably the $50 one would be, and if you put something heavy in the top it does wobble a little bit if you try to move it around, but if it's just sitting on a table it looks great, and it saved me so much money to do it myself. The original one I saw online was $50. This one cost me $6 plus my paint. And I love how it looks with the spring decor in it, but I can use this for any season, so I'm really excited about that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to check out the playlist to the Look for Less challenge that's in the description box, as well as Yami and Nicole's channels also. So thank you again so much for watching. I hope you all have a blessed day.